because of that, right? He knew it long back what is going to happen when the Tripura are going to be marginalized by the Bengalis, migrants, right? And we are not even able to be the chief minister of our own state, and it is the Bengalis who are ruling. So the visionaries have a special power or charisma to see the future, right? Like that, we need to prepare, right? All the best, good luck, and the future again. Hopefully, if it is possible next year when you observe it, please inform us. We will try our best level to join with you. Thank you. All the best.
Now, my call upon their respected sir, the share president, John Governor on the stage.
nó cái line thấy rồi con rùi nó có thể yang come let's be in queue, let's be in queue and come hay đi ra không hay đi nó lại cái
cùng được thứ tới giờ nó sẽ thấy hiểu và cái kêu hay cùng lại thống này. We wanted to send a great message from Shillong across Northeast as well as Tripura. So it is a historic day for all of us that every place, every corner of Tripura, our people are celebrating our King Panda anniversary. So this is very important. This is something not simple occasions of today, but this is something very historic and making us to remember what is our history. One cannot forget the history of our nation. So please, I would request the said boys, youth, the warrior, you please take that cue because from there, from behind, go from behind and lie down.
저도 롱 지금 발 롱메디 예 Come. Come. Come, come. Come. Come, hurry. Come, hurry. Come.
bairani actually kaisa koimung kai ong tongnai buwa gara thajing message khai ke call khai bo call khai no bo saga buwa gara bo tai basic time na gala within 5 to 6 minutes bojang meeting khai kaisa Tripura food festival bini tinin message omo tongnai by next month in Tripura food festival omo organize khai tomo party afro buwa gara hainai kai sini Rajkumari khai tongmani bin flight kisa problem ngi bo finally ya botam thangja emne go tinisi program attend tongmani I don't know unfortunately mo kisa technical ba man khajes pan flight problem ngi bo finally and now I would like to thank from our chief guest especially guest of honor brother advocate Henry Deuma Tripura spokesperson and along with him we have got our guest Sir Navakishu from Manipur. I'm very thankful to you for and along with him we got Enoch from Nagaland. Dara from Assam. Thank you, sir, and for inviting, like, for accepting our invitation. Sorry, I'm getting nervous. This is my first time I'm holding the mic. For that, I'm very nervous. So I hope you guys will understand. And first of all, I would like to congratulate to our all the YTF Shillong member for cooperating with us and making this happen. And at last, I would like to say we will be having some folk dance and special dance with our Shillong Tripura student, and after that we'll have some space from our chief guest, and at last we'll all have some evening breakfast. At the last moment we'll have some sweet which we have arranged for you guys, so I hope all of you will go after having our sweet. That's all I want to say now. So I won't take much time because we have our guests here. We would like to hear from them what message they will give at the last. So thank you very much.
The dignitaries, Chini Nograbo Tomo Hatani Khlaijakha Purni, Sarnawa Kishore, the Nagaland Inos, they in short form, Brother Anthony asked me to call you why. So we are going to be welcome Kate or Khapangni, Brother Anthony. What a photo! So I flew on class 1, class 2, Bonon Money. Now I'm going to media was mission with them. And the Bonon Kitika. They are Khlaijakha young bottom in the program. Kairono Lamsote and why they any some of them some member, Mr. John Deborah Don Sinimo, Bhutan Hill Bakery manager plus TSF no years to TSF plus student just one of the Borok Pioneer no belai helpful Dinibo Bini Nomni personal sound systems no review. Khorang dice of component like Suzagna, I want to boss you operate Pioneer no, who doesn't know come by. Get the Pohorte or Hill, my president, but having some more nervous. First time I'm going to Shillong with them. To hambai jengjoton lam somani bagai and joto kutung jagoro adi saukara tomo tini t-shirt Shillong ni pastor tomo reverend bare dara basai bai sonte munai shong ke yang obo je volunteer tomnero brother bijoy jengjoton ta tono belai khapur bekai hambai ya koro te jeng joto ni te sho birthday party celebrate khaimano bisio sal koloma niya kulo agi wasama khaika IKT hostel abani ya kulo hajiya kona. So Chini Khorang ni je Tuifang Benjamin Bobo Tomo. So no joto no no sing paling joto ya la throw by the man kisha joto na kan ko kasi half to 3 but Chini time around 7 bucks 11 o'clock 9 bucks 12 go and nijani duty 3 pm to on just Chini mungri nai and official by Dr. Surajit Debarma senior medical officer Nazareth Hospital, Department of Emergency and Trauma. They are General Secretary, TCF, Tripura Fellowship, Shillong General Secretary, Mr. John ang Chini president ang Chini pastor Reverend Parate oro Chini senior so tongai mo recognize amati kansa ro brother Jite brother Sapon brother Karate okra ro na no kharang kai bela hambai no last moment of no invitation man from Achaimani si awon ni hamzang ma to khangai na abo sok nai thingma tini Chini microphone ro pumya to no kisha baksa hintong no to tini hyper no nijini so abo kun lasina bo kre waran kre bus kan salote bo ka hamthun ko khunkai bukhase o bukha jodi ka hamkai sin hamzang ma tongkhai chini to phani bangai chini boro rogna te buino mo hamkai a hamzang ma summa bus kan tlanai so agoro basatui what I want to speak is about love. I think our guest from Assam, Manipur and Nagaland knows hamzang ma means love. At least get this word. You may not understand all the Tripura words, but hamzang ma is love. And as we wear this red, this is also sign of our love, you know, and we connect as we hang this. For today, you all are Tripuris. So, on behalf of Joto, the Pasas Shillong Night, Olorogo or Night, Tomano Chini journalism, Chini Khorang, Zodeke Night of Chini, Hamzamas and Yafu, Joto stage of pay, Zoromaya Tom Piazotono, a Hamzama Tom Bishing Tini Buskan Pega. So, since Hamonomon, White Yaf Homo Bishibalo Yako. So, what Chini Borong ni Ninos and Buskan Payoro, Kunsunaya Chini Borong ni more important than any occasion, the main occasion, the reason we are gathered is we are celebrating 114th birthday celebration. Chini Maharaja Bikramni, since Achaimani bini bunung jotono Khorang airport ni college ni amujotono Chini thui borok Chini yafan. So no matter from which religion you come, both tribe tong, amrono Chibwrwi, Chini Bubagra ni makhana sigay. At present Chini Bubagra, no zuton sama Chini Bubagra makhan. Bung sakit orang bin makan nunggu itu, bozo tu jangan no actively mo parsi install to mo Facebook to, zoto tu ino sini bubagra, resam bulasan orang pun hero hai kaya ina kaya diba, sengkau orang tu tu social media tu, we see our Maharaja through media. Though we are in Shillong, we hardly meet him. He's always in Tripura doing something, not being around with him, always Phasalo. So we also convey our love to our bubagra and his family, all our royal family. Because this day is so special. We can be proud that we still have a king. Manipur also tells that story, and how other those who came today, our dignitaries, we all share that type of history. So, princely state, kingdom, nations, Katungui Tongtognani, and all Salomon Salamusum Tashimanko, Hamzamani Himani. Political field leaders, student organization, business, students of loving not only in words but action. Hamzan Nairo, get Taubo, Katia, Romuiton, Hamtun, Hamiaton, and Pilansaka. Just a parliament in Khorang Tiprasa, and a lot of Mansasak, Tinito, Mo, Peteo, Masalika. At least just about opportunity, percent program to just about what the plus a time of the Hastani priority. Canada, Taming Hamzawan, Gay, Buigonite actually doesn't, but if you never talk Sazana Sagi, Sazay, Rotterdam, Siwi, Sinjasui, Chumoi Gani, but Nuyu, Gay, we were Hamzako, and Saman Gates in Jazagata, Khorang Rosalo Tomo. We represent our people. And Khorang Tiprasa and represent Khlaijakha. Just like one Tombi, J college, Sang Hambai Marinai, Shillong no or Judas, Buiton, Akitamo Kahamni, Hamkraini, Shillong Sumi, Tripura, Yao Bohorito, so no lead kind of Bubar of Buskan Hai, Jotonon to Mui Tansani, Cox Salona, Pian Salana Mekai, as I go Hamzama, but how I Hamzama Tonkankai, Nunab Nakarnai, why should you take card labor? Dog Kashin takes a card like Dog, a Hamzamano and Buzimaya, the Nogo Wala, why should you have any chicken? The Nogni Nakari, I'm taking us in Khorsa Tiprasa, Hinzanai, Brazil, Hinzanairo, Sayam, Gamas original, Habiapan Saka, Buzimaya, the New York program money takes a group Sazayam and Tomano, talking about climbing and Tomano. Piantino wants to get away, the applicant wants to make a Sazay and Tomaiba, Hamiano, Boholi, Takitama, some Hamiarism, Hamiamino.
Piano Zolati Hinkai Nizini, Borono Tinizini, the organizers from Sakai, Saksang Himasekai. If you are condemning anyone doing this program because they don't have this, then you are condemning your part. It's in different parts. Jotono, Sarai Robo, Okra Robo, Jotono. We are telling bad again our own. And we'll have to understand that. Because this is something we need to practice. So, if you can learn to forgive, if you can appreciate somebody else, if you can encourage somebody else, we will go ahead. So, Chini Tripura group. Political, just one Hindi political wing in Payuni, but some higher the whole program. Hamza main occasion, just one Chini Maharaja is about to celebrate Palkavan died Chini chief guest, one of microphone now, kind of sound today, sound box, had about to cover 9 years, chief guest made it. Celebrate stage of cake, this is something we will love. I'm encouraging youth from now. Kungsugui, Kunkaimia, problems in Abubaya. Sin Okra budget, 3 night of especially not political reasons or Buskan King Thomas Simon Bird, but symbol, Anti Henu Kangamti leaders from Symbol, Kabaso, Don't Togo. We want to go front. So I'm calling on Tanya and a topic non Sanotini celebration. No, joy to everyone who is gathered here, including our guests, dignitaries, everyone. My song, Dara song, the Okara Zotono, we should be proud that in 114 birthday celebration. I believe. Omong thajing dara ko kaisa saga bohor musingan phayo ina se ignite muti hai Panda ro sung khlaina nango hediba sung mono khlaina nango buskan sala wan sugo tini chengkha sung wa effort dilainai because akhil saisi gere tuma khaigana short time ho koyjana bomno ba hambai moro zora riman bagai to sung jok to khaina joto ni participation a thajing ko khaisa saga hall ni onkhore ke mono kuno ta sami ta sari o program ni man thun jasapano sakangai niji nang samak khlayo pia kamse sadi status no rina ready anguri nai tini Chini Maharaja ni birthday sing tong thogoi mudai khlaiga ni positive attitude by sing lai hamza ma sing practice khlaile na chere belai khana lai khana nasle mani obo hine our tini ni Salo, especially Maharaja's birthday. It's a day for, a celebration day. What will you want in your birthday? Not a birthday celebration, like I'm birthday celebration. Kya bro mo sa tanay nung sumo birthday hingga kade. Brother Anthony birthday ko pumbro rathana, waro rathana sami amre ke invite khai. Have a birthday you want to celebrate? Chini busani birthday khai. Ke reward khabe ni birthday celebrate khai ni. Tong thona ni khai diba. Jo ke tini mo Maharaja jo pok than ko ba je existing Maharaja sini. We have to celebrate the unity. We have to forgive. We have to go from. So let us make this day special. Let us spread love wherever we are. In Shillong, different parts. All messages So I wish everybody a very, very blessed future, lang kaham leadership potential to, and thasing number bui to himagatan sanengai. We have so many now capable students. Teko college kaham rabagi, Anthony, advance, Khorang Khorang ni. Tabu ke bangma ni se pung select habaya advance so Saint Anthony Rogo Women College or Shillong College so apte different section no sumbu je tongnai ko jana sakri khane different hospital khlai to apte business khane different field apte ka tabu sino save kaham to sung joto blessing namo. We have spread out. Piasen thansaba kaisa platform tui mudike ma tongnai nai ma kathlai nai bus kamo jodi program chini borom ni bagai do khane hamkrai kai je mansan mo kisa follow lai ni zobari lai no so tuition congratulate kayo president Akhilia Kela ya program member last time actually there was a patient in Negrims Jacob Koloy Akhil he was running around he don't know anybody coming here kisha contact kana pasana tikai he was running for that patient buba garang tei borok thali bo subai ka am personal nai ka pastor song nai hazard stivo so abonota जों निजिनि नाना नामा जे केमो जदि आं माखाय नौनि कलेज और गोबां सिक्ला दं यूज दं डिफरेंट कलेज कक सायाव तांलायनि नुखाय थानि रिथारि कक साय थानि रिथारि ता मिजिनि बर' रंना आमते हिखाय सो तेविशा आं तिंगि बोसन बसकांनि डिसियरनि जेसन बोसन बसकांगो कासे यूथ डे प्लस फ्रेशर्स नो वेलकम फ्लाइट दं वाइ टीम नां थासिं दारां साका 22 जरा दंनाय अखिलनो साइट दं सो मानखाय जों हामजामान बालायनानै जें मानि आव सालना को आव साका खाय को हावतो सो जों आव सालना दं जोंनि बुमार खालाय दं आसन जिखौ तेविशा जतन को मुसलेसे हामबाय दं
Thank you very much for calling me in this August celebrations of Kings of Tripura and giving me a chance for at least 1 hour to be Tripuri by wearing this. Thank you. So I believe legends comes down to this art from period to period. Today we are celebrating the 114th birth anniversary of Maharaja Bikramni. Today is also one of the legends' birth anniversary. That is the Lord Krishna. Today is Hastep. So the same day, two legends comes in this art. One is long back, who make the history of the religions. One is after long back by in the name of Maharaja Bikramni in Tripura. I am a home from Assam. So I am proud to be a home in my state. And I found it is very interesting to celebrate our king's birthday as Assam Divo. We celebrate our kings, the first king of Ahom in Assam, the Sukafa, who ruled Assam for 600 years till 1826. So I feel proud to be here that Tripura has a long history of kingship, leadership of Tripuri people over there. So I don't want to make my speech long, just to say we are celebrating our forefathers' birthdays, anniversaries. This is a starting. This is a small steps towards our visions to be a indigenous people of these regions, culturally, politically, socially, be indigenous for these regions and reconnect ourselves, all Ahom, Boru, all indigenous peoples. It is almost, we have 225 different indigenous peoples who lives in Northeast. We need to be together, we need to be sustain our culture, identity, beliefs, and this is the tiny steps as often steps of celebrating birth anniversary of Tripura from Shillong. Why I am proud is that we the Ahom people never celebrate the Akham Divok out of state. Now you people celebrating your king's birth anniversary from out of state is a unique kind of initiative you are taking. So I like you to be congratulated for this greater initiative for the greater cause of Northeast indigenous belief and identity. Thank you so much. This is a step of coming together. This tiny step of coming together will lead us to next step to build our peace very soon. Thank you.
Good afternoon to you all. I send greetings, solidarity and hamaza to all the Tripura's present here from Northeast Dialect Forum, Nagaland State Chapter. As our friend has just said, this is an August occasion. This is the red letter day for our Tripura's. This day reminds us of our Maharaja, Bikramni, who has sacrificed his life for our people. To be indigenous, we should be proud of being the indigenous people. We should proudly claim as an indigenous people. That is the identity, unique identity that we have. And I also want to thank our organizer for gifting us with this traditional shawl, scarf, as a token of your hamaza. This occasion, this morning I was just going through the life history of our Maharaja Bikramni, and he really he has a concern. He has concern for the indigenous Tripuris, and we are still yet to achieve his dreams, his aspiration for our people. He also has written about this the future trade from these non-indigenous people. He wants our people, Tripura's people, to be very unique. So on this occasion, what I want to say is, we should not be influenced by other cultures. We are cornered from every direction. So we also need to know, we also need to identify what are the traits we have. So, like the significance that we have just lighted a candle, the aspirations, the goals and dreams that our Maharaja Bikramni has for us should be revived, keep burning through our activities, through our contributions, through our idols. Even though you are here, our mind should be towards our people out there in our beloved state. You may be from different backgrounds, from different fields, but we should contribute for our society at our own sweet capacity. We should not forget our motherland, who are struggling, from different challenges. And I'm going to learn that there are more than 10,000 Tripuris staying in this Shillong town. And it is a good number. If we all can contribute, I hope that we could bring a big change, a big transformation in our society. So this is the occasion to retrospect and also introspect, to push forward the good idols that our Maharaja Bikramni has instills towards our forefathers, to us. Still, we still can understand. We still can read the histories his achievements, our king's achievements, his desire for our people. We need to revive that. We need to keep that in mind. We need to cherish that in our mind. So together, we can live peacefully in our land. We can maintain our integrity, our uniqueness as a indigenous people. Thank you so much.
First of all, I apologize that we arrived very late because we were attending another death ceremony of our very close friend. You may be knowing his Kasi, Reverend Dr. Achaimani. So, thank you for giving us for our late arrival, which goes to start our programs today. Sorry that you all were waiting about more than 3 hours. We also would like to congratulate that your courage and remembrance of the King, Bikramni, Manka Debarma, right? Why we all need to remember is that if your forefathers or our forefathers or ancestors were not there, then we will not be here today, right? The land, Tripura land, was protected by them, right? The Tripura land was built with their blood and tears. So therefore, you can proudly say today that I am coming from Tripura. Okay? And if you are forgetting that, and if you wanted to give more attention to earn money, to build your careers, your image, you wanted to be a rich person, having cars, big buildings, no, that will not protect our identity, your identity, right? The history is very important because your identity needs to be protected, right? So when I will not speak much, so therefore you remember him, then you remember your families, his families, and then families of indigenous people of Tripura, right? We know that Tripura is going through a very, very difficult political crisis, which will be difficult to overcome. See, I understand about 15, 20 years back, when we tried to mobilize young people to work to bring a change on the human right, only 3 or 4 of them came out, right? We wanted to open the office, right? And they put the bomb in the office, so we have to close down and all. So this takes time, but today more than 100 people can be assembled here without fear and without any reluctance, so on and so forth. So we all need to build our careers, which was built by the Rajas and our ancestors, so on and so forth. So you need to do very carefully on this thing, and don't study your school and colleges, university, just to get more marks, just to pass the exam, so that you can get a job, right? When you do the study, do it properly, study it properly. Okay, some of us may not be able to do that because we don't have money, and I need to take care of my family, then I have to pass my exam by hook or by crook within a certain period of time. There may be some people of that kind, but there are many people who has time, who has some resources to do your study, then give attention to your studies, right? Do research on the history of Tripura, right? Collect monuments, learn the folk dances. The granddaughters were playing the dance, and then other daughters are also performing the dance. So your very, very old traditional cultures, dances, your scripts, your language need to be brought up to university level so that we can understand how the Tripura is working. Don't try to sweep away your history, your identity with this winds, political that kind of wave which is coming very far with the very powerful forces. Don't allow them to do this thing. Don't be crazy after the money, because money will not save our life. Money will not save our society. Of course, we need money, but for our survival. Don't be dragged into the corruptions, bribes, so on and so forth. It will really destroy our society, right? So be careful. And the kind of nationalism Raja Bikram started and his ancestors started need to be recognized, need to be respected, need to be observed every year and all. See, Anthony was telling to me this is a very, very, very long journey of pressurizing the government to really recognize Raja Bikram and his birth anniversary, and then it should be a state holiday, and then we should be allowed to observe this kind of celebration, right? After the long struggles, recently the present political party, we thank for them, they accepted and they announced that this had to be state holiday and everyone should be allowed, particularly the indigenous people, to continue this kind of remembrance. Right? So we need to work very, very carefully on that and see, we understand when I visit several times in Sidagong Hill Track, in the Rangamati, the palace was under the water after the Kaptai Lake was built, right? And then you go to the Khlaijakha, you go to the Panda and all that, they were struggling about their identities, right? But now it is very slowly building up their identities, their culture, their traditions, so on and so forth. So it takes longer time for us to do it, and hopefully this is our old responsibility. We need to continue in future, and whatever we wanted to continue, let us work together, let us cooperate together, and you will be our future, right? Don't forget, all the young people, you will be our future. If you are doing good, the Tripuris of the northeastern regions will be good. If you are not doing good, then our future will be in the hand of other people whom we don't like, right? So this will be very careful. Lastly, the region is divided ethnically very badly, very deeply divided, but we are all inhabiting in the eastern Himalayan range, right? Like this. So we are in the almost in the similar geographical areas which are having serious political crisis and economic crisis, educational crisis, so on and so forth. And it is going to continue to face the crisis. It is not going to overcome very soon, because of many reasons that I will not tell. Is the role of the United States is there, role of China is there, role of Europe is there. So it's a very complex point of view, and our struggle to protect.
Jatana sering, tai Shillong paru, sing Shillong paru kru, semua sana hamang se. Ang koine jatana kisah bahasa. Bahasa apa? Sakan asing ni jatuh nak heke, tahu rumah sekali. Tahu no, Bapa orang Bikramni nu kita, nor nak haya, naik saya, tahu saya naik salah, lugen up, and see whom we are seeing. Nunukha? Thank you, Azubedi. Kau berapa di sana na English baik? Yang di sana, kau berapa di sana? Mix, okay. Belai hambai, jadi belai kah tom thoka, tahu bagi dekai. Tripura, kau mana jangan invite mano. Chini TF, Tripura Employee Federation, borbo Agartala town lo khai tomo. Tai TT ADC ni hapang robo, TT ADC o khai tomo. Tai joint action committees of civil society, jaga government and family, 2010 simi, aborobo Astobal ground celebrate khai tomo. Nor nungna Google organize. YouTube lo kono nungai sale ko khub pan kotor. Tai Tripura Hastep, every corner of Tripura, people are celebrating of today. But anniversary of our Bubagara Bikramni. Now, why this celebrations is very important? Why this celebration is very significant? The only reason is that this celebration is not merely just to remember our Bubagara, but this celebration is remembering our history, remembering our traditions, remembering our identity. Once upon a time, how we Tripura people are, how we Philsara were. So bahai tongani, Chini Philsara agi, so tabuk tong ahai the tong, naki so agi bahai tongani. So nagi kevon kiriya, kevon lasia, buino tola ka konya ka tongna nangia, tong ka je khakla pherino, so buskan abah ki tongani. Asal sini sinumu kotor, sini kanung sumu, sini resamu, sini har, sini jauh terkusu, hukum tongani. Kita abang tidak kering takkan, tamu banget kering. Sini borok, hatan di bahaya be, maya nama bagai, buino yasak suka. Budak harga, carka, kanurka, harka, kita abun yang lo, ini semua orang obah yang sesuatu kira. Sentamu pak kaya tong, kita sentamu operat kaya on humanitarian ground, we have accepted them, we have given them the shelter, the food, the land that we have given them, but in return, what they have done to us. Today, we are accepting our right, we are accepting our identity, we are accepting our culture. This is identity, this is the back, this is the common matangu. This is the culture, respect, recognize, abang paksa this is the common matangu. This is research, bahaya popular, this regional political party. Futures the Kainero, TSN the Kainero, Lama Laka, Ninia Bagui, Tabuk Sum, Komsoko, some all these have been something Hiwi Toma. Tam the Bagui, Bubagra Bikram Salado, Tamunisha, Abasarasa Sound, Botan very important. Bubagra was very important because he is a very highly intellectual and has got a big vision. Bini vision tamu, bini Naharmani, Dorhan Bagay Belek Koto, Bosaiman ka, Ane Philsara and three Tangan Yago Lakai, Borakamanai. Abon Bagino, Chini Bubagra Bikram, land reserve Kalakasano, and land reserve Kaitamon, but Himan Yago, Zokote. जों India democratic system हापाखै ओंखायनो जों Chini ha reserve खालाम थांजाबोनि हानो reserve खालाम जाखा. So he could see the visions. So that's why we call him as a visionary. Did British are they have ruled India, but they cannot rule Tripura kingdom. Why? Because our king is so strong that no one can defeat our king. Our bagai, Chini Raja so strong. Kevo British of High rule Kaima Paya. They even Chini king, Mughal emperor also. Elephant export khai. Mughal emperor of Phasalo copper khai. Abu Dhabi, the Britisher has to salute our king and has awarded him with so many trophies. And one of the greatest award that he received from the British is a sword. Said, Chinaraj Asakai Pankrak Asakai brave Abu Dhabi, one of British of sent Phai for a gift mother. This is airport to Louis Toktomo or airport of architect. He himself. Boss or airport of boss of family boss architect Clamo. Abu Santini airport of Boom. With the boom will not take another Poro, Chili Cockle. No doubt we do respect and honor our Robinson Tagore, but it doesn't mean that the airport of Agartala should name under him. But you also know, Rabindranath Tagore was graced in our kingdom. It was our king who has supported him. It is our king who has given him everything. Due to our king's support, he became as a poet, writer, as a popular. That's why he has received the Nobel Prize. Before that, nobody knew that he's a poet writer. So, the one who has mentored, the one who has supported him, today you are not respecting him. Abun bagana tini, boss tabut nor mukhana governor house agini, ajaga asumit se bonus kobita skiru. Sabo, Chini Raja, amu se tini. Chini Buba Khorang mu bor airport na mujuk jagia. Chini Vijay Rakhol bos khaisu assembly of fight khayu. Abu Tala airport na daro kebel bungri mamla bin bungri angkakai. Hai ka thui kosang ni bos khau. Khaisu bor sab khaitu. Othoso tini kabam chini bor tin prasar CPM khaine Congress khaine jot na jago bor MLA minister tok Habun ketu pura kong kisi pano, kup punya, abun bagi nol tinuan suwina ti. Tidi bo, sini borong na hamzah mana bagi, bo kaisa sai kalam, sini orang orang. Noro, anu busuk hai purun kakai, noro yasak sukti. Bono ya kali karo anu bisa. Okong sarang pakai no. He knew. He said, when my grandson comes, please receive him, welcome him, don't send him back empty-handed. Did Apar Sabo, who is that person, who is the grandson of our Bikram? Who? Phasalo? Bubagara? Brother Kishore Manikya the Burma. He is the grandson of our King Bikramni. Tinnar Bhumina Nukhana, Soyo Nukhana, Bini Rajbari, Bini Tripura Castle, Bini Kolkata Castle, Jotan Kibui, Tene Satuno Satu Hinia, Watino Watu Hinia, Uibo, Tini Numbai Abe Pasa Asui, Soba Kaitan, Saban Bagay, Niniani Bagay. Abun Bagay Tini Nahisar. Of a Puno, mane political banner, political party. Tripura, Tamogo, it is a movement for your rights. Tripura, Motha, political party. bo kaise movement ne identity bagi movement khaine ne dom phan bagi movement khaine ne halo bahina narang nai abun movement khaine bose je dire ne culture kamai thango je dire ne kalung sumu kamai thango je dire ne samu kamai thango adi ne hat kamai thanai abun bagiro tini ani kok ani samu ani kanu ani samu abun sung preserve ma khaite abun sung save ma khaite tini abun bagino tini bini mumbai se bini sampli bai se sung tini sini identity no sung naru bitor ma bo tini kuri kakai tini sung bahki identity naru ma kamu abun bagino ang jokote agu tala tonglang tini dino ang buila okil phun khaike okil nor aro sini boba ber 114 bata na bese pare dela bo sau na tara palaya tamun bagi ra busar bokri agu kuri sau abun agu kan saka abun pro tor kholi benjamin phun khaika tapsa benjamin nor aro samu khai tongare bone nor ba ki nor celebrate khainia khaile dara borok ta se khaile ni sau apre chupe no nagle chupe jomotia are you here please boro nahala I would like to call upon Akhil Benjamin Chupe on the stage please come musa phela boro Khlaijakha tongna se do nervous ne ya ko ke sub president but president is getting nervous my god please. First I called him, are you going to celebrate this day or not? He said no. Why? No money. Thereafter I called Benjamin. Benjamin food khaine na. Pork tokai sabun khaike. He said, we'll do it. It tells people. Then Chope. So 3 of them in telephone conference, I talked to them. And I said, you don't worry about money. Because there are people who are serving as a doctor, there are people who are serving as a other official, there are people who are doing business, there are people who are running taxi, you know, right? So everybody can afford to contribute something or other for the cause of our identity. And you all students who are here, we are not coming like from the poor background family. Like me, when I study here, hardly I get 500 rupees. But to get 500 rupees per month, it takes 3 months to receive through telegram or something like that. And the ones who did it, as or our sister, or Zagavo, or Shillong, go up fresher Khayasan, General Samu Khai, I get in Tango. Keno Tabunor Tebo. Mana well-to-do family ndar phaija asar ampusan magwana ya ketu tini ndar job no self isolated with a self mane fashion with a self dress but we are not connecting one another bujika abun bagai let us give a big applause for these 3 people who has taken pain to organize. Bela ke hambai Akhil Benjamin Chupe, thank you. Bela ke hambai. Oke abun bageno, thachik sini tamon obo don't study just for the namesake to get mark. For an example, from tomorrow, very recently, the mark will not be calculated. You all need to face entrance exam. It is now going to be introduced for every admission, for every job, everything. It will be through entrance exam. Now you are memorizing your subject, and through the memorization you are getting out of 100, 95%. But when you come to actual interview or to actual experience, then what you will do? So therefore, study for the knowledge, not for the mark. Study for knowledge, not for the mark. But study is just not merely for a knowledge or just merely, need to get a certificate or degree. But if you are not concerned for your society, the degree is meaningless. You may be a PhD holder, PhD holder di mano, MA pass di mano, BA pass di mano. Itu, nini dog fan bagai concern keren, nini society bagai concern keren, commitment keren, dedication keren. Nini degree is valueless because you won't able to live alone in a society. Nang saisang toge magara a degree holding khai, a sakir khai, ketu nini jepru topa kamai thang tongo, ha kamai thang tongo, nang bahai na kamala. Abang bagara tini bobakara sao, thansang dini sao. The greatest gift that you can give today at this 114th birth anniversary is your unity. Thansa, love and affection. Abu Samad there need to be a bondness. Need belongingness kari, need bondness kari jakai, need hamdam bor bhaine ba. Abun bagino, the person who loves the culture will have the love for the society. The love without society, the love without your own language, the love without your culture is meaningless. Just tini or bhai celebrate khaiya, agar antapana hamzaka, no. Just merely coming here and celebrated this birth anniversary doesn't mean that you love your society. Once you move out from here, one step away from here, then you start helping your own people. You start connecting with your own people. You start talking to your people. Share your sorrow, share your difficulties, share your love, share your issue, raise your issue for your right. Then only, then we will continue the love and affection for your society. See, yesterday, just few minutes back while we were coming, I was sharing with one of my Naga friends. When we all went to celebrate the Indigenous Day on 9 August, I said, you being as a Tripura girl, or as a Naga girl, or as a Maite girl, or as a Assamese girl, you get married with a Hindustani. Do you have your identity? Will you have your identity? No, because the moment you get married to the other, your identity is lost. Because you have to write your, say, Jimmy, Davrama, then what Singh, something like you have to write. Sharma, you have to write. Das, you have to write. Not Chakraborty, you have to write. So there you lost your identity. Hayada, thika sade. But today you get married with your own people. Okay, if you are Devrama. If you are Jomitiya. If you are Naga, then Naga. If you are Assamese, it's Assamese. But today, the moment you get married with other, then you lost your identity. So that's why, that means, as agar ini Chini muktai di prasad itu tolak, budi top persen tanah Asia. Tidak kasih cemlugu, we got a news from Russia. Russia government president is giving money to those women who will give birth of 10 child. Imagine why. Why today is encouraging to have 10 children in a family? Why? He said, in order to win the world, in order to save the country, in order to save the land, you need the populations. But today, with the Tiprasa, who are engineers, who are IS officers, teachers officers, doctor, they are having only one child. And you, all girls, you might be PhD holder, doctor, something. Oh, it is very painful to give birth, so one is enough. That means you are compromising your population, your generation, my dear. brother and sister, to increase our population is meaning to increase more our generations. I would say. I don't blame. Actually, generation says, "How do we start to talk about that?" Nanti kau jaga wo, ni population tak sih, baru ni gusti tak sih, baru ni jati tak sih. Jadi ni khorang sa beri besar ka, ni dana kerja mulai berkerja. Karena ni kajian kerja, karena ni orang beran ni, bukan ni gan ni, dana orang beran kan, bayi orang beran kan, thana ni kai, ni dana berkerja, ni mulai berkerja, ni bayi berkerja, orang beran ni. Belai important over, abang bagi orang, one suti, besar important. Jadi orang ni beri itu kan. Nini bus ada pada khorsa bukan rohaka, kau ni bangun khorsa bukan rohaka, negara thang bawa lagi polisi bawa kiri, apa kerana ada berita tamat tu, ada bus di tamat tu, jadi baru tu rumah mungkin itu tuh kena jangan pakai. Kau dah salah, kalau ni tidak mana itu kadar atau kadar itu kau bertangan tu, non kau weak itu jangan. Abang bagi no. Jadi Tripura no bhatan phainero tang mo chinu weak khenu ba ha chinu borok gurui soba khaine gurui fight khaine gurui abun bagi chino bor weak khenu abun bagi it is very important nor je Shillong tongnero tabun nor na hala ni jage Shillong pori thangnero either they are in civil service, either they are in doctor, either they are in engineer, or either they are in law background, either they are in social activism, either they are in student movement, either they are in political movement. Kita nor tini Shillong just kali mian ni pori na ni orang thang ke Shillong ko Tripura thang ke wasan Shillong ustad ke kena raja, ha Shillong ustad ke wasan ri kanja top sumjak tisa sumjak ke nor thang. Kita nor to boron na ni Shillong se pori phaja ka ba Philsara nor nor mokol kotor khai na. Kita nor raja ka kasih example set khai lumayan ka kai. What is the meaning coming to Shillong? Shillong pori bhetam lab hasil. Sudah fashion kaya nak thaka, rasa kaya nak thaka. Abu sih sudah bela. Ulu kau kata sana musuh maya. Abu korsa tisti kaya ni, kita kaya ni albai ni besar. Nor bujau tu masuk mai bola rumah, bola rumah. Albai manu, mai bal manu, utarakan manu mahai ke. Pori utang manu yang lo, babu sumjam. Tahu masalah English itu puri fair sakit kaya saya itu. Sejak suka, langsung kan babu su. Tahu bagi saya kaya nak sejak suka itu. Babu, nuna ada firmo, dokter bagi sama kaya nak bagi. Ang sakit kaya kan dokter bagi sama kaya makmu. Kita kaya sana nombor nal sekali. Anu masalah ayah officer dokter no, salah prithvi puri makmu. Kita buat ini human rights activist itu. सारा पृथ्वी पूरी का न प्राउड फील है आईएएस ऑफिसर का आंगार आंगा का कोई बैठा मत मु आर आंगा सूचना ने जिने में कोई बैठा मत मु आर आंगा नेदरलैंड कोई बैठा मत मु आलता कोई बैठा मत मु के ताते डॉक्टर ह्यूमरस खाई आंते था ताऊ बगा तिनी और तिनी तामो है माइटे को बाय ब्रदर तामो नो किसु तिनी सिने बाय तिनी नो baru macam mana? Cina hawa je hasil jago, Cina hawa je wajib mining kayo, root product ko kayo, agar ko pada baru thangin Malaysia. So sobat kaya, ini sen asal jorte thangin sobat kaya. Agar rate kesu, by second sang with line dari kaya. Apa kita documentation kaya? We will start keeping a documentation. Tini nang sumano, Tripura lain rumah, Tripura hawa khorang se kami sokaka, kami se jadi rigreta kami menjaga, risata kami menjaga, komportas kami menjaga, nor tahu fit apa? Kalau sem sobat kaya biasa kau. Ada kan aku mulai berhenti. Dulu pada sem resident commissioner pada dog sebagai Tripura pun sebui poin baik. Akhirnya they pun di Phasalo respect result. It looks odd to share this, but once upon a time when we reached at Delhi, they said, "Oh, yeah, tribal. You don't need to sit at sofa chair. Sit down on the ground." My God. As you not feel like a not one zaku. Ketu sempor coba kaise. 3 दिन hang strike kaise. Sotajo hospital porti kaise. Pastor sila berjaga. थांगे खाइसे तासे चौबा खाइतो बुझि क्या आबुन बागिनो बोबगरानो साउ हाइले साउ खाइना नगले सीएपीओ नर मुंगना बाहायको पुलिस याकुं छतका याक छतका आदि या कवि थाक याकुं क याक छिन बुनो छतनारु चिसला छतनारु या तेसर मारु छतन आबा हाके छिन चौबा खाइ दिनी आसन जरके छिन हाइले Jadi bubagara, soalnya tak. Bini maisa mose, tegri. Bungkus saja semua orang takkan. Di bawah dia, mai bawah saya, taisa kaya, hari dosa ekor bar tersopai. Taisa kok sekali saya, ekor tidak terima thame. So, tahu bagaimana coba? This coba is for saving your identity. This coba is for safeguarding your culture. This coba is for safeguarding your land, your territory. Abon pagilo, tino jago hai kok saran so. Tini bini je visionary no, bini iman no, cini bobagara ni iman no sab fruit khaine. It is you. It is you. Buzi kya? Norok sabo. Abon pagilo, tini signal mutu naruti. Tini almost belonging ake phaile pani Khlaijakha phaile pani it is a kaisa mane significant of love, significant of togetherness, significant of Thansa mean unity in Khorang Thansa abun bagino sen tabu sen chini brand name Tiprane brand name ke Thansa buzi kha gang bagina an nong phaile musumo kamama kok sanu musumo Washington or General Kai. So one day, kind of similar Kai, Chini Tripura live Matamo, so Tam Crystal Kaidana, Pakis and Tam, Chini, few sellers of Tam Kaidana, good Papa Madonna, so Sien Kaimalai, Lotomai. Okay, Abu Bagino, didn't I enjoy a walk like Tamu with Madana, then the cars are not back in several. Neither identity, not the Pakis, is a back and not back. Nang tinis hari kali juga orang pasang tiket, nang lagi tiket kau jadi sentuh pasang nama dia. Karya dok, mana confident ni ya? Karena kamu punya dress. Nang tinis dikira sama sih, kali feli, riset tadi feli, tu macam Hong, pasang polisi itu nak tertolong. Di Maharaja, nor mukana saya biar YouTube, ini jenis dewa thampuru, sini login Khorang beri tu, anima bisman mila, jalan tolong, John. Tisang ko desene ekor to burono sai raholo risa judu nor kan khanga kai blouse hakau judu nor risa kan khanga le nor adi nor lobina adi no roma phane nor judu no ne kal chani na adi no phunna khanga kai risa sorti pura agi na ke rigene kali then aba ke khai ke busus na to ka phunuka bor ma ka even Northeast Cultural Department Director Marka. So no schedule ma khai ko. Even though khana nangata khansa ne abosin kan boron kanta dor nai ne YouTube plus o kan no in disen dewo 2003-4 bisimo agu tolaw sa hin bota khai ni even chin samu ron sa khai tin na hai din ko nor next year nor din plan khai na khai tin na hai din ko kaise philo ungo khai chin samu dia dosen Khlaiman. Abah hai sini je identity no, jeng dia mau popularize Khlaiman. Hai dah, so identity serta tu coba khai tu, sini identity bang, sini culture bang. Kalau bang bisa kau cari, kalau noro mai lo Khlaijakha, tapi Khlaijakha kalau noro, evertan sini Khlaiman ni, semua kaise खूब important. Ini jauh orang baru tahu Reverend Bimem Passamai. He must be around 78 years. or 75? 75 February wo bothri kya wo khorsa pura tatoi pura Tripura wo chung thangja pura north chung puri jak Chini intellectual Maharaja chung bahike choba khaine bahike fight khaine chung Delhi wo parliamentary ko committee ro thang malayo parliament je MP ro chung thang malayo to mama chung letters silebani India president or China president Bangladesh United Nations Human Rights boy ko kaisa khai ba ko publish khai ta abun bagen tini se pura north is big hoy the big family was the prayer khai apu se khai nga sengaro mai chana jodo saramja hai bole chinoro Panda to mune jodo mai chai bo chinoro khai ka tam bagen hamja bon bagen tam bagen an bakut an bubu oro jodo to bora hamja bon abun bagen noro mo tapoti te buba karano noro kaisa no re manu kakai tini na hai tini je celebration khai theke because nor jara sob somoy joto jebur khai ko buba karan sungai no program khai ke bakin nai ba kai deba tini bo surprise nai je tini Tripura sara tini or jaga program khai ke bo surprise nai abun bagai no bele bele ke hambai te hamjang no pakle no thani ya koro dira baksina no hui tong maro pasio jaga agin simi tong tamu bo ba mo sa dek sana mo sa pino thang sa ki chan sa pino thang sa ko tai abra ke sa bo to thang sa abun bagino no please kaisa hajin doctor suji sai taka no kaisa fellowship khai tonni waisa at least malai lai apno 6 mas waisa ko malai che sa khai no share khai no tamu difficulty no tamu mujumma to abun share hai ke sa chini je connection to le nga jaga jaga pori to kan an pokna rampu sa to nani tele bakin nai na nga jaga to kan lasan sana sana kaisa example ta kaisa no thono the yak sai no sum no dulu ka je yong la sipro sai mana na yong la sipro morning walk pasala bai hiba ni thaka karang yong la sipro saubo आज जो तुमसे कोता नहीं छाओ बोले हिबी था के ताम का कैसे छिलो बोर मुका मुसुगा का साइ तमन तब यो म छिलो पसरा साका बाबू नंग मा साका नंग से कोता ले ई को ना हानी निन से पुसे कोता तो का उलका बोथा के बुफा हामना न सुरु का आगे ने बो फुली ना क्या तो का आने से का बिनी यास को कैसे पनंगिया को न साका तासे bo hamana kaya hamana dekya tor ka babu nisaka apun na bin fusu panu tori me ko last taise ekdom hamana tor ka bin ka bo tam thaka phali thaka brasin thaka bujika gabon bagino sak sak chil tor jani to kai nang tam na e abo ahe abun bagina ma sau ni waste atas number your waist is just 48, but your choice and your liking is 32 waist and 32 number. When you don't want to buy your waist size 28, but you wanted that 32. But when you bring that 32, what will happen when you wear? You become naked, choose your size. So that you can be smart enough, you can be vocal enough, and your limitation is just there. Abun bagino, usna hamjagin, je agamona, ketu nung box idea, nung challenge idea, nini view nung place idea, no bahim leba. So therefore, last thought of the day, it is better to die in a young age for the cause than to live like a wood of tree. Let me repeat it again. It is better to die in a young age for the cause than to live like a wood of tree without bearing fruit. Jangan fruit famous sahu, dok ada bagai, mudah jaga pun musa kaya kurang ni, arah kisah bumi tu melam dari mana? Am I right?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you love Tripura?
Yes.
Do you love your land? Yes. Do you love Phasalo? Yes. Then let us all raise and remember our Bubagra. Then let us all respond with her. Bubagra! 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 No, I can't hear. If I said Bubagra, then you said I will not too. Meaning if we say Bubagra, mean we take the name of our Bubagra, then we say, let him have a long life. Bubagra! 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 Now decide, keep quiet. Bubagra! 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 Very good, thank you. Now, let us see decide. Bubagra! 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 Very good, thank you very much. Now let's make a high five.